Hey, welcome back. How you doing? Okay, let's have a look at our Trello project sheet, and at the minute we can see Castle Part 2 needs to be done. So let's move it to the being worked on slot. If there's multiple members of a team, we can even assign it to people, or people can vote on whether it's terrible, things like this, but we're not going to. Okay, and I'm just going to open my other file now. So open, and we need to go into wall 2. There it is there. And this is even simpler than the last one we worked on, although it has still got this kind of piece up here. Now then, do we want to make this where we need to see the back as well as the front? Well, that's up to you. I'm going to say yes this time, simply for a change. I have some bricks on the back as well. So, what I'm going to do is just remove all our sidings that we don't need anymore. But do this as carefully as you can. The more pieces we remove, obviously, the easier our unwrap's going to be. We don't need pieces that aren't going to be seen ever. It's just pointless and redundant. Unwrapping this one should be fairly much snap, actually, compared to the last one we did. Although, if we look... Oh dear, I accidentally deleted a piece. Well, what we can do is just go and undo it all to try and recover it. There we go. That's what happens sometimes when you use the old marquee tool, sadly. There we are. Okay, let's get a model ready. I'm going to leave this back piece on just here, so delete. And what we're going to assume is that everything up here is like that kind of concretey texture we went to all last time. Now we have too many edges that we don't need, so why don't we get rid of some of them? So control clicking that that edge, selected the entire lot, and then I can control backspace to get rid of that and the verts. There we go. Honestly, if we don't need something, why have it there? Alright, now, same as before. I'm going to go over here and apply UVW. Go into my editor. And of course, as with the last time, we have the active map displayed. Don't want that. So, following on, obviously, same tools as last time, same everything as last time. Move that over to there. And let's get selecting. So, first we want the frontage, which is that piece there, right? Like so. And I'm going to just projection map it. Turn it off. And then go here to my freeform tools and just put it to about there. Okay, so quite big, but then again it's a big piece. Now you may be thinking, well, what about the back, which I insisted on keeping in here? Well, let's do the back now. So make sure we haven't selected too much. I'm going to do a grow operation, and then do that. And I can drag this, and this will now share the same UV space as the wall on the opposite side, which is a great help to us, because it means we won't have to texture these twice, so we can focus on putting more detail into the bricks, for example, if we wanted to. Alright, now, what about the walkway? Well, let's get that in. I could have deleted that edge there, now I see it, but I didn't. Silly old me. Never mind. Okay, go around, make sure we don't have anything selected that we don't want. And do that. And there is our walkway. It goes along the top. And let's turn it around now, and we can do this, which is our crenellations. Now, I'm sure you remember doing these from last time. It isn't too hard. We're going to make sure we include all the pieces though. Just go around them all. I made each piece small deliberately in the castle tutorial so that I wouldn't have to worry so much about, you know, building massive pieces and then not having them suitable. And this makes the unwrapping a lot easier as well, because I can put 4 of these walls next to each other and create a long wall. Or I can use one to have a short wall rather than have to chop it up. And that's way more useful in game as well, where objects are instanced. Okay, just check it all out. Seems fine. Okay, so that's our front part here. And if I just projection map it now, then bring it up here where it's out the way. Because obviously what I'm going to want to do is go straight into the middle here. Just scale this in. And then this one. And this one. Okay, and now I can just straighten up some of these edges. So, go to my move tool. Obviously not having to explain things again after the last video makes things a little bit quicker, which is helpful. Okay, bring these down. Because there's no real need for them to be that high up anyway. Actually a little bit higher because I can compress the entire lot. Because I want it to go into that space down there. There we go. Like that. Okay, and that just leaves this bit, which as we can tell already is our crenellation. So, just go over it. Making sure to select everything, obviously. Including these bits. Okay, and again, just a flat projection map will be more than enough. And we have these left. That must be at the back here. Yes, it is. And we have these left, which are back sides of this. Which go on top of there. Oh, should have really put them into there, but never mind. What I'll do instead is I'll individually planar map them. Like so. And then, same as I did last time actually, I'll just put them on top of each other, basically. Takes a little bit of fiddly work, but doesn't take too long. There we go. Put that in there. And this piece here looks like it's already orderly, so that's cool. So I'll take that, rotate it, and move it into there. Lovely. And then that just leaves this bit. And obviously, if you remember from last time we did this sort of thing, we're going to have to pull it apart. There we go. This makes more sense now. Then pull it out that way. There we go, and that is our packed sheet piece. We could even, you know, just automatically pack them using the various tools over here, but I choose not to. Okay, and 10 minutes, amazing. What I'm going to do now is go to Tools and render my UVW template. Same as last time. And if you want to know what the naming convention I used last time was, it was Development 2 here. It's quite important to kind of keep things the same. Wall 1 UV template. Okay, so make sure I'm in Wall 2. Wall _2 _ UV _ template. That's a JPEG. Done. Alright, well, let's take this over to Photoshop, so I can just Control S to save this so far. Photoshop. And there's the old wall that we were working on, so I'll just get rid of that. Instead I'm going to open let's see, my reference PSDs. I'll have some Greystone and base wall, please. And then I'm going to open my wall 2, which is just here, my UV template. Alright. Now I'm sure you can remember how we did this before, it's not difficult. So, again, just use the wand and then Control-Shift-I. Make a new layer. And just fill it in. Using the fill bucket in black. Hide our background. And we can see basically this is going to be stone. This is going to be concrete. That's it. That's all there is to this now. So first thing, then Control D to deselect it, and I'm going to get rid of that bit. Get back up there, you. That bit and that bit. Hit delete. That leaves me with just this nice piece here. Now if I go to my base wall, Control A, Control C, using the same texture over and over again makes things a lot easier. Control V, right click on my layer 2 and create the clipping mask. And then I can just adjust it basically to wherever I think is going to work better. See, that's quite good because it lines up against the bottom there, which I quite like. Although I think I'd like to get the edges kind of like that as well. There we are. Alright, and rename this again so I know exactly what it is. Base wall. Okay, now we're going to go back to our background, hide our base wall again. Use our wand tool. Control-Shift-I, Control-C. Hide our background, make a new one, layer 3, and then use our fill bucket. And this time the piece we don't need to do is this one, so I'll just grab it here and get rid of it. Delete. Okay, and then all I need to do is go to my Greystone, Control-AC, go over here, and just paste it in. And I'm going to need to paste it a few times, so Control-V, Control-V. But basically cover any areas that are black. There we are, and then I'll collapse them all down to one layer and create a clipping mask. And there we go, that works too. So now I can show both the layers there, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, so now I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Wall 2 Basic Texture. So File, Save As, Wall _2 Basic Texture, like so. Okay, scratch my eyeball, and just collapse it. So save. There we go. Okay, that's it. Right, the next thing I want to do then is, if you remember from before, I have NDO and DDO, so this is optional, by the way, and if you want to make sure that the texture is working as well, now might not be a bad time, so M, bitmap, Wall 2, basic, flatten it. Okay, and you can see now that it's fitting. It's basic, but it fits. And the back there is also mapped like the front, which is cool. Press F4 and take off that additional part so you can see it better. Okay, but obviously it's like a crappy texture. It's nothing special. So we can make it look more special, should we like, which we do. Okay, so go over here and I'm going to fire up Quixel. So I'm going to actually put this NDO 64, pin it to my taskbar. So where is it? Pin to taskbar. That way I can always find it easier. Not going to update now. I am going to go to Cello and mark it as being unwrapped and textured. So that way if I'd stopped at the unwrapping, I'd be able to just go straight back to there. Okay, and get over there, you. First thing I'm going to do is go for my presets. Just here. And again, it's a stone wall from my active document. Wait patiently and it's going to create me a simple normal map. This is a good opportunity for me to drink some coffee. Delicious coffee. This is going to be wall 2 normal. Just wait for it to finish. It won't take too long. We can do any tweaking we want to once it's done. I remember when I first saw this tool being used, I thought, yep, gotta have that. That'll make me happy. And it did. You can sometimes create quite bubbly normal maps, but you can basically soften out the large detail a bit. See, so we can remove a bit of the bubbliness from this, like that, and de-soften a lot of the large detail, which will make it rougher, or softer, depending on how you prefer. Okay, you can see the lights picking it up properly and so on, which is cool. Okay, file, and we're going to save it as wall 2 normal target. Okay, close that down. Go back to our basic texture here, which I want to now convert to specular from my active doc. Well, actually we need our normal if we're going to create a specular, so what I'll do is I'll recreate my normal, so I'll just pause. Actually no, I'll just open it, sort it. File, open. There we go. I'm going to convert this to normal to a specular and to a diffuse and don't want diffuse, yeah, ambient maybe, why not? Okay, click. Actually I've already got diffuse. We'll just have those two. So that'll give us our ambient and our specular hopefully in just a few minutes. Just calculating our displacement from the normal, which is quite handy to use as something like a bump map, for example. And there goes the specular, and now the ambient. There's the ambient, excellent. And we can decrease or increase large shadow. So there we are, and I'll increase the fine a little bit, but remove the medium. And I'm going to save this as, let's see, wall 2 ambient. There we are, wall 2 ambient. By giving it a good name like this, by the way, it means that it will automatically get loaded into DDO correctly. Okay, let's go to our specular. File, save as, wall 2 spec, target. There she glow, or whatever. I'll close those down. Okay, so that's the 4 basic maps we need, including our basic texture here, which I think I have saved off anyway. I'll just check with my save as. I should have a wall to diffuse. There we go. Okay, that way I've got my 4 target maps. Right, what I'm going to do now is use that in DDO. So if I just load up DDO64, there it is, and pin it to the taskbar so it's up there somewhere. I just lost it again. I think I have. Damn it. Quixel DDO64. No, it should be on my taskbar. Where the heck is it? I think I've got too much stuff on here. In fact, I'm fairly sure I have. Okay, so let's do DDO from Quixel. Go away, you. DDO 64. There we go. And wait patiently for it to load. Doing all this one in one big old segment. Remember, if you don't have NDO and DDO, you don't need to do this bit, but you can get a free demo for 30 days. Pretty damn good. Take all your hard work, stop you having to do it yourself. Lovely. That's what you want. Right. I'm going to move that over to there. And get my modules. Automation hub. Quick load. And don't want wall 1, I want wall 2. Do that. And as you can see, we've got our normal, our ambient occlusion, our diffuse, and our specular. Okay, now we are going to have, well, now, what did we have last time? Let's see if we can remember. And the one that we're using is, come back, you darned thing. Lost DDO again. Come back. Keeps vanishing on me. I'll start getting annoyed in a minute. I think I might have to start DDO again because it's obviously decided to crash. Well, at least not crash, but be a bit funky. It uses a lot of resources. Modules, automation hub. I'll just quick load these again. Okay, I'm going to keep grey shades. And for the actual thing here, I'm trying to remember which one it was I chose last time. It was like over the top wear or something, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was over the top wear. Okay, make sure all these are ticked, and just mash the big old bake button. And then I'll decide whether I'm pausing or not, or whether you want to see what it does in real time. Probably pause. Yeah, pause, it'll make the file smaller. Okay, I think it's coming to a finish. Yep, it is. There we go. There's all our right dirty old materials in all their goodness. And as before, I don't really feel any particular urge to have to do much. I'll just check that it's created them properly over here. Wall 2 DDO, lovely. Just going to quickly check that. Okay, so I got a DDO here. All looks fine. Maps. Okay, and I can export all. And it should export them for me. With any luck anyway. And as you can see, it's just created my 4 maps here. And what I'll do is I'll open them in Photoshop just to show you them. So file, open. Okay, so there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's our 4 walls. tremendously useful. Love that. So greasy and dirty looking and muddy and lovely. I think my computer's making funny noises. Yeah, it was. It's gone now. Okay, just we can have a quick look over this and add or change anything else we want to. I really don't want to though. I'm quite content with the way it looks. If you want to see what the difference is, I'll create a quick one here. Just use the diffuse there, and you can see the difference already and how it applies to it. Obviously, because these three here at the back are copied, they're identical. Remember, we overlaid those in the same way that the front and the back are the same, but you won't notice that because this is at an angle. However, it still works and it looks good. So what we can do now is File and Export. I'm going to export this selected object, and I'm going to export it as Wall 2 FBX format. So and that's it. That's all there was to it. Control S just to save this so that it's done. And now we have two packages. We have Wall 1 and Wall 2. And if we go over to our Trello board, we can now pull Wall 2 over. Check the comments on this one. Yep. Add a note that this one is also exported to Filmbox format. Done. Okay, so we now know what the next one we have to work on is, which is Walkway 1, and that should be nice and easy too. So, made quite a lot of progress there. Did an entire piece, took us less than 30 minutes. Hopefully it'll take you less than 30 minutes too. Obviously Wall 1 was slightly more complicated from a mapping point of view. So let's move on, and I'll see you in the next piece.